taking the rest of the news updates then, and quick look at some key commentary coming in from the Federal Reserve officials. Chicago Federal Reserve President Austin Goolsbee said that economic conditions will determine how fast the central bank cuts rates. Here on, he also called the overall progress on inflation encouraging. Meanwhile, you also have Federal Reserve Governor Michelle Bowman, who also sounded a cautionary note and also said that inflation risks to the economy remain real, added that labour market data remains hard to interpret, and also backed a cautious gradual rate cut path.
Okay, let's place the spotlight on key comments from US President-elect Donald Trump. He says he will not try to replace Jerome Powell from the Fed chair post upon taking office in January. Trump added that he didn't think Powell, who he has sparred with in the past over interest rate levels, would go quietly. Remember, his vow to implement across-the-board tariffs could also complicate the Fed's efforts to keep inflation in check. Just last month, Powell said he would refuse to leave office early if Trump tried to oust him, arguing that removing him or any of the other Fed governors ahead of the end of their terms is not permitted under the law.
Alright, moving on and shifting focus to Japan, where the economy grew slightly more than estimated in the third quarter, largely led by support from export demand and capital spending. GDP was up 1.2% on a year-on-year basis. That figure slightly above that 0.9% estimate, but still well below the 2.2% growth seen in the prior quarter. Meanwhile, GDP grew 0.3% on a quarter-on-quarter basis, slightly better than the prior reading of 0.2%.
Okay, then zooming in on some geopolitical action now, shifting focus to West Asia, a turning point in the region's history across generations. Syrian rebels have seized the capital of Damascus, sending President Bashar al-Assad fleeing to Russia after a long-drawn 13-year civil war and nearly 6 decades of his family's autocratic rule. The fall of Assad's government wiped out a bastion from which Iran and Russia exercised influence across the Arab world. Moscow has given asylum to Assad and his family. Mikhail Ulyanov, which is Russia's ambassador to international organizations in Vienna. The fallout from the collapse of Assad's regime will be beyond American control and could lead to a conflict involving regional countries, and Turkey warned the Iran ambassador to Syria. Let's go across to my colleague Srinjoy Chaudhary to get more updates on the Syrian unrest right now. Srinjoy.
Damascus has fallen and the rebel forces have taken over the country, most of it. And this is a very important moment as far as the West Asia is concerned, because at this point, this was entirely unexpected, at least from India's point of view. It didn't think that Aleppo would fall and then Damascus very shortly. But it has happened. It has happened very quickly. The Turkish foreign minister spoke about the whole incident, and he seemed to be very supportive as far as the rebels were concerned. But he said the minorities have to be taken care of, and there should be no revengeful attacks on the Ba'ath Party, which was President Assad's party. Besides, he hoped that there would be peace and things would work out well. Importantly, he felt that the international community should be of help to ensure that the entire situation works out very well. India, of course, is concerned. India has asked all Indians in the area, in the country, and the capital, Damascus, to move out as quickly as possible.
All right, thanks, Srinjoy, for getting us that update. Tell you what, let's also go across and listen into what US President Joe Biden as well as Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu then had to say about this entire issue.
At long last, the Assad regime has fallen. This regime brutalized and tortured and killed literally hundreds of thousands of innocent Syrians. The fall of the regime is a fundamental act of justice. It's a moment of historic opportunity for the long-suffering people of Syria to build a better future for their proud country. It's also a moment of risk and uncertainty. As we all turn to the question of what comes next, the United States will work with our partners and the stakeholders in Syria to help them seize an opportunity to manage the risks.
This is a historic day for the Middle East. The collapse of the Assad regime, the tyranny in Damascus, offers great opportunity but also is fraught with significant dangers. This collapse is a direct result of our forceful action against Hezbollah and Iran, Assad's main supporters. It set off a chain reaction of all those who want to free themselves from this tyranny and its oppression.
Okay, well, that's a wrap.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.